We've got some controversy why a disc brake bike's so much slower. I was sitting behind Richie Port here. He's riding a disc brake bike and he absolutely flogged me up Norton Summit. I was also on a disc brake bike as well. Had I been on my climbing bike, the gap would have been a bit smaller, but Richie still would have won. Yesterday, Richie Port, he won on Wollonga Hill. It was the first, correct me if I'm wrong, it was the first win for the Amonda SLR disc. It's the first, I think it's the first climbing stage ever won by a disc brake bike. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Richie Port will win on pretty much any bike up a hill, assuming he doesn't have a twin. Let's say we had a twin Richie Port. If a twin Richie Port was on a Monda SLR rim brake riding side by side, he would go faster. Why is that? Rim brakes, they rub. It doesn't matter how good your mechanic is, they're going to rub at some point. The changes in weather, you get a spare wheel change, things like that, they're going to rub. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you can't be really, really fast. It doesn't mean you can't win, but you won't win as big if you had a twin riding side by side and he or she were riding a rim brake bike. It's just how it is. Rim brakes are slower up hills. They are slower under power. They are good for downhills. I get it. They're fantastic in the wet. If I was a bike messenger ever again, I would ride a disc brake bike. I have several disc brake bikes. I've been riding disc brakes since 2006. For cross-country mountain biking, discs all the way. For cyclocross, disc all the way. For commuting in wet, hydro discs all the way. But for pure performance, uphill road racing, criteriums, disc brakes are just marketing bullshit. They simply are not needed in the pro peloton. They're not needed at all. But they're fantastic for touring. You got a load, you're a gravel rider, you're going on some venture stuff, you're going to ride through puddles, and you know they make your rims last longer. Yeah, they do. But if we're talking pure performance, to get disc brakes off your road bike. Uncle Chester uses disc brakes on his hybrid bike there, and people said, "Oh, there's bullshit. Disc brakes are better performance. That's why Peter Sagan rides them." Peter Sagan doesn't have a fucking choice. He is told to ride what he rides. He doesn't say, "Hey guys, I want to run rim brake or disc." No. He's told. That's part of the contract. We tell you what to ride. These are standard guys here. Again, under contract, but they've got the freedom there to use rim. Some teams are having it open. You can use. I mean, no professional rider is going to use a disc brake road bike out of choice. They're not going to say, "Oh yeah, I want to get a disc brake bike that's probably going to rub. It's going to have slower wheel changes, and it's a bit extra weight. And you know, when I'm really sprinting, it might ping a bit on the rotors and slow me down a bit." No pro rider's going to say, "Give me a disc brake bike." They're not going to, right? Because it's slower performance if you're a road racer. And pros are pros. They don't need better brakes on the downhills. You know, if they got Shimano or SRAM or Campag brake, that's good enough. If they got some of those shitty FSA brakes that hardly ever stop, then yeah, for sure. So there's so many noobs out there who've swallowed the disc brake Kool-Aid right now in the road scene. Oh, it's incredible. They're like, "Oh, you don't know anything. You know, just have it set up better." These guys have got pro mechanics. I've ridden with a lot of teams now, disc brake roads this year, and I hear pinging, I hear rubbing. You know, it's just how it is. They're so temperamental. They're like a pretentious roadie noob who just got a Rafa jersey and thinks they're a pro for EF or something like that. They're very, very temperamental. Disc brakes are temperamental. They can ping and knock and rub, and you have to stop and fix them, and even then they might not work. So it's just the deal. Don't be, don't think that disc brakes are going to be better for you up a hill. They're not. They're not going to be better for you in a sprint. Can you still do well on them? Yeah, for sure. Of course you can. But if you look at Wollonga Hill, you'll see that Richie Port, it was I would dare say, correct me if I'm wrong, but Richie Port's win yesterday, it marked the first ever win on a climbing bike, disc brake bike. But it was the smallest gap I've ever seen him have. Daryl Impey was hot in the hills. Walt Pauls was just there. Yeah, and both these guys behind Richie didn't have the issues of disc brake bikes. So I feel if Richie was on a Monda SLR non-disc rim, He would have had a bigger margin. He maybe even won the Tour Down Under. He definitely would have won it yesterday if he had a mirror on his bike. Wouldn't have to look back all the time. So there you go, gang. Why are disc brakes slower up a hill? Because they rub and they're temperamental, and that's just how it is. It's not about the weight. It's the rubbing. Ride any disc brake bike and ride the equivalent. Ride a 7 kilo disc bike and a 7 kilo rim brake bike. They feel totally fucking different. Do it. Test ride, then decide, and then leave a comment.